Hi, it's Heather with Spiritual Signage again. Today's story deviates from license plate, but I still stick with dogs, because they are one of my favorite topics. So, years ago when I was living in Charlottesville, Virginia, I was at an auction house and discovered a painting by Andrew Wyeth, which, by the way, Andrew and I have the same birthday, so that was kind of cool when I learned that later on. But anyway, there was a painting of his called Master Bedroom, and it's a gorgeous kind of yellow lab hound mix laying on the bed. Some of you might be familiar with it, but I was immediately drawn to it. And I still had my dog Hummel that I talked about in the last video, but she was black and white border collie lab mix and didn't look anything like in the painting, but I was very drawn to that painting. So I bought it at the auction and hung it for years, the next few years at least. I was finishing my degree at the University of Virginia and eventually started teaching high school English. And one spring, I decided I was going to foster some dogs. So I fostered about 14 dogs in a matter of 4 or 5 months. And it was very rewarding finding homes for these dogs. I know a lot of people think that when you foster, you're going to keep them all, but no, it was very rewarding to find the perfect home for them and then to be able to welcome a new dog into my home. So one day, a litter of 8 puppies showed up at one of the foster mom's farms. So she naturally took them in, and they were with the mother, who was a gorgeous English shepherd. So she was fostering the dogs, and she used to bring them to the outings to get them adopted. Well, the runt of the litter was just the cutest little thing. She looked like a German shepherd left in the dryer too long because she was just so little. And I ended up adopting her. That was in February, actually. A few months later, I adopted her brother, Stefan. So Julie was the runt of the litter, and Stefan was the only yellow lab in the litter. There were 8 of them. And I brought Stefan home, and immediately, they were both about 6 months old by then, and immediately we all fell into a routine, and they were puppies, so they were very playful, and it was just what I needed at that time in my life. Well, one morning I wake up and I look over at the Master Bedroom Andrew Wyeth painting, which, by the way, the dog in the painting is named Rattler. And I couldn't believe the similarities between Stefan and Rattler. It was like Stefan was lying on that bed. And I was actually really surprised that I hadn't noticed it, the similarities before then. But it was such a cool realization that my being drawn to that painting a few years earlier came to fruition when I adopted Stefan without even purposely, intentionally going out there and say, hey, he looks like the dog in the painting. It was actually a couple months later that I was like, wow, wait a minute, that looks just like Stefan. So sometimes I believe that animals can come to us in spirit, like before they even manifest into our reality. And now I actually have, Luna, come here. Luna, come here. Now I actually have my dog Luna here with me. Let me see if I can show her. Luna, yeah, there she is. So she's 6 years old, and she reminds me a lot of Stefan, actually. So anyway, I just wanted to give another example of how things can manifest into our reality, like that we don't even think about. Like we could be drawn to something and then later on find out why we were drawn to that. So that's my Andrew Wyeth Master Bedroom Rattler Stefan story. And I hope you all are having a great day and that you too are open to seeing the signs that the universe and our loved ones are sending us on a daily basis. I have many more stories to come, so if you are appreciative of them, I'd appreciate you for liking and subscribing. Have a wonderful day.